The time is now. Turbo is going nuclear. Everything is going nuclear. Listen, guys, altcoin season is just around the corner. Listen, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to try to make us a lot of money this bull run. I'm going to guide everyone the best I can. No bias, no harmful intentions. I'm just trying to build an army of snipers that succeed at the end of the day. Listen, Turbo up 23%, but there's one key detail that makes me believe Turbo will peak earlier, and we will have to sell Turbo earlier compared to some other coins, which is not a problem. I don't mind cashing out earlier, right? Imagine the bag, imagine the type of money you have right now. Okay, now imagine Turbo 20Xs, and imagine that in like 2 months. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Wouldn't that? Who's complaining? No one's complaining. The bull run has to end eventually, you know? So listen very closely. I believe Turbo will peak earlier, and I have the data to prove it. We could see in September it started to pick up momentum, and then October was when it pretty much pumped 175%. In fact, even more, 185%, right? But then you can see it started to slow down and sell off mid to late October, a little bit of a recovery in November, but overall sideways and a sell off. Now, this is why I'm mentioning this, because coins like XRP, what happened with XRP in November? Well, they started to pump. What happened with HBAR? Well, early November, they started to pump. Let's look at something like Caspa. When did Caspa start to recover? November. Okay, let's look at Render. November. So we can see, although everything is going to be green over the next few months, not everything is going to be at the same time. Not everything is going to peak at the same time. So this is the chart that shows the total market cap, not including the top 10 coins, which is relevant for us. As much as I would love Turbo to hit the top 10, I think the Toad would literally have to get revived, be, come in person, take over the world for it to be top 10. But anyways, enough messing around. Listen, guys, we are currently here right now, right? We're about to be exploding, but that is not the main point. The main point is that coins will explode during this time. Some coins will explode a little bit earlier. Some will explode during the first peak and during the second peak. So some coins, when we were pumping, peaked in March. I'll show it. Then some coins, a lot of coins actually peaked in this peak right here in April. And then also a good amount peaked in May before we got a huge drastic sell-off of, oh my God, 62%. And if you want to be that person that counts it from the top to the relevant bottom, 66%. It is crazy. So let me show you actually a coin that peaked in April and not May, right? Because a lot of coins peaked in May, but one coin peaked in April, right? And that's actually XRP. We can see XRP April 5th. Then what I say, April 12th, it peaked. All right, we peaked at almost $2 and we sold off a little bit. Then again, we early May, but as soon as it got late May, we sold off. We sold off. Now I'm going to show you a coin that peaked in March. When we look at other coins, last cycle, the main peaks were April and May, but some coins peaked earlier. If we look at Filecoin, when we look at the date, it's February. We go into March. Late March, we peak. Late March, we peak. April 12th, I've mentioned this date multiple times. That's when a lot of coins also peaked. And then the third time was in May, late May. But we can see late May, we're selling off. So I believe this is what's going to happen with Turbo. I believe we are going to have to take profits roughly 1 month earlier than many other coins. Now, listen, that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing, right? Some coins, they're going to bloom a little earlier. Some, or a lot of them are going to bloom around the same time. And then some are going to bloom like a month or two later. That is just how the markets work. You got to remember, when we do all these price predictions, all these targets, it's not going to happen all at the same time. Can 70% of them pump at the same time, or 50%, like a large amount? Yes. We got to understand money rotates. Money rotates. It is why it's so possible for there to be a 75 billion market cap Render at one point and a 70 billion market cap Caspa and a 20 billion market cap Turbo. There's it's a reason, right? There's so many coins, and the thing is, the money likes to rotate. We've seen this before. It's why when there's a green day, if we go to crypto bubbles, when there's a green day, not everything's literally gonna be all green. We can see not everything's all green. Now, these coins, they're probably still recovered a good amount, but for the day, they're still down. And just to give you one more reference, I'm going to show you one coin that peaked in May. So pretty much, like I said, it's a toss up. You have to be paying attention to specific coins. That is why I'm going to preach Turbo might sell off early, which is not a problem, right? If something starts early, it's most likely going to end early, and that's okay. So look, we can see Litecoin, right? It was going up for weeks. We can see, March was looking nice, right? But it was no peak in March. Then April, actually had a nice peak. You could have got out somewhere here and still made good money, even down here. But then it was May. In fact, it was very early May that peaked, because then you can see just a week later, big candle, and then damn, right? In 2 weeks, 70 down 72%. So that is why it is very important to pay attention to your coin. And that is why we have to time it the best we could. And that is why we can't be greedy, because, like I said, coins peak at different times. So you have to pay attention. Coins sell off extremely fast, as you can tell. So don't be too greedy. Or if the warning signs are there, they're there. They're not going to stay forever. So peaked in May. So that's why I'm saying, Turbo might peak earlier. That's why you don't buy on green days, right? When something pumps a lot, like let's say you just bought Turbo now, hypothetically, which is still a great buy. It is still a great buy, but I'm just going to use Turbo as an example, right? Let's say this was a daily candle. This week's worth of data was a weekly candle, okay? Sorry, this weekly candle was a day's worth of data. If Turbo pumps 76% in a single day, you know, in most situations, there's a chance it's gonna trace back 30 to 40%. But feeling FOMO, you might buy in at the top, right? You might swap your money from something that's low, right? You swap your money for something that's low, you buy in something that's high, then Turbo goes down, and then that coin goes up. And you're like, why? But listen, that is just how it is sometimes. That's why you can't chase. You cannot chase. Overall, right now, in the context of the market, it's okay to chase. It really is. Right now, it's okay to chase because we are in the end game. We are about to explode. If we look at the chart that indicates altcoin season, right? If we look at the others chart that shows the market cap for our beautiful, beautiful altcoins, we can see we are getting to the top. And once we get past the top, we are going to be exploding and we're going to be targeting certain zones. Remember, people, where are we at? We are right here. We are right here. We are just a few weeks away from officially exploding. Okay? So, guys, like I said, time is limited. Can't be stingy with Turbo prices, right? Can't be stingy with other coin prices, right? So it's okay to chase now. It's okay to chase now. Okay? But overall, as a general concept, you shouldn't really be chasing. Now, listen, I called the reversal of Turbo. Remember, I called out this order block over here, this institutional candle. Turbo went right into it perfectly, right? We have one candle over here, one candle over here, and then we got the triple tap. If you're on this channel for a while, I always mention the triple tap. It is one of the best methods to just trade overall. It is one of the best indications of reversals, right? This is something we're going to be looking for when the markets are going to be slowing down or reversing once we get to the end of altcoin season, right? There's so many things. And I called it over here, right? So if you're listening to the channel, if you take my word, um, like if you value my word a lot and you bought, roughly down here or here or here, right? Even a couple of days ago, I said Turbo is going to be going up. Then congratulations to you. You know what I'm saying? We talked about how Turbo will not be going into these extreme premium prices. The structure would break. Things wouldn't make sense, right? It just wouldn't make sense from a structural standpoint. You know how much I value technical analysis. Anyways, listen, what is next with Turbo? Well, same thing. We have to hit the all-time highs. So I believe, the next few days we are going to be testing this. Then we're going to sell off a little bit. We might consolidate, test again, go like this and like this, right? It's not going to be literally perfect like this, but you get it that pretty much after the test, I expect a little bit of a pullback to test again, and then we're pretty much going to explode. Okay. Remember, if most coins are going to start exploding, maybe January, mid-January, Turbo might start exploding late December. Okay. Remember that because, like I said, Turbo is, you know, Turbo's in front right now. Turbo's technically winning it. Turbo's in front. This is good,